Hey everyone, it's James. Waiting for people to sign in, and while we're doing that, I'm going to share this live stream to my personal page. So, who's all joining? Anyone? Yep, okay. Hey. All right. Hey there, welcome. So I'm just sharing this to my personal Facebook page, and then I will quickly engage. So, hey Richard, or Rick, that's Rick. Hey Rick. I'm glad you could join. It's a crazy weather here in Provincetown, as you know, but anyone else who's joining, we're having a really weird wind rain event. Hopefully it's not going to affect this live stream. So, hey Tom, long time no see. Lori, I'm glad you could join. I just posted to my Facebook personal page, so I'm ready to go. I only have like 4 people in the live stream right now, so maybe a few other people will join while I put this away, and then we can get started. Okay, well, I am not going to crouch down to talk to you. I'm going to raise this up a little bit, and so we can get started. So I'm James Frederick. This is Frederick Studio Provincetown. This is the 8th live stream of 2021, and when I think about it, it is actually the 17th live stream since the beginning of the pandemic. So who would have thought that this would become kind of the normal? But I'm happy to bring the work to you this way, and I'm actually able to reach so many more people. So the work tonight is called Light of Winter. And just a little background about me. I'm James Frederick. I am an artist. I live here in Provincetown. I'm a painter, illustrator, and a cartoonist. This is my 7th season for the studio. Hey, Chris, you made it for the seventh season for the studio, and I'm just very grateful that I get to do what I love and do it in a beautiful place like this. So, hey, Joseph. So tonight we're going to be going through some of my winter paintings. I did some last year and maybe a small snow scene the year before, and I really love doing them. This year, instead of just doing representational work, I actually, the work spans kind of my breadth of styles. So you'll see representational, some that are a little more referential, and a couple that are just pretty much abstracted, but inspired by the light and the shadows of winter here in the off season and in Cape Cod. So I have 10 pieces that I'm going to share with you. And as always, you can link directly to any of these pieces at the link that's in the description of this live stream. That'll take you right into my online store, and you can get dimensions and everything else. So that's always there. So let's get started. I'm going to take you through these pieces, then we'll talk to you at the end. If you have any questions, this is happening, just please type them in. I will check every now and then for messages, and then we can answer them. So I'm so happy that you guys are here. There's a big weather event happening here in Provincetown. It's actually slowing down slightly now, but we've had some crazy weather over the last few weeks, and we actually had a cyclone bomb with the power out for like nearly 24 hours or a little longer, actually, where I live. And tonight we have wind and rain, and I'm just hoping that the lights stay on and that the signal is still going to be around, because last month, if you remember, that actually the wireless went down in the middle of the live stream, so there were 2 segments. So enough of that. Let's get going. So this work is all really reflecting the season, and the first piece is right here behind me. I'm going to bring you a little closer so that you can see it. It is called Woodland Sunrise, and it's a 18 by 18 piece, and it is the moment that light starts to break through the horizon. And this is kind of an idea of being out in beech forest, and how the light just dances on the surface of the snow, the uninterrupted snow. Hey, Bo, thanks for tuning in. So this one, again, is 18 by 18. It's called Woodland Sunrise. So all of these pieces are on acrylic or acrylic paint on canvas, and I condition my canvases out dark brown before I do the work. So I feel like I'm painting the light instead of the dark. And I love creating this texture that you see in all of my work, whether it's abstract or representational. And that's one of the hallmarks of my painting styles. So this one has a lot of that texture, which is really lovely. So I'm going to continue to give you close-ups where I can. If you have any questions, just type them in and we will move on. So this next piece is called Winter on Winslow, and it's the view down Winslow from in front of the high school. You can see the UU in the distance here, and after snow. This is a view that I see every day as I walk from my apartment down to Whalers Wharf, which is where my studio is. So it's a view that is very familiar to me, and this is just a very good representation of all the layers of gray that we have in the winter here in Provincetown. It's kind of a luscious layered gray that you see here in the winter, and it gets very reflective when there's a lot of snow about. So that one is called Winter on Winslow, and it is 24 by 24. So it's a fairly big piece. And again, all details are at the link in the description, and you can find out anything else that you need to know about it. Framing, sizing, pricing. So these next two are stacked here, and I'll take you in for a close-up on both of these as well. But the top one is called Trawlers and Growlers, and the bottom one is called Frozen Harbor. And I painted these from photos that I took here in 2015 when we had a lot of ice in the harbor, and it was a really cold, crazy winter with a lot of snow, and the harbor had all of these small icebergs, at least that's what I called them, and my sister, who lives in Michigan, coastal Michigan, corrected me and said that these are called growlers, and I guess the term is like for a small iceberg, and they kind of make a bit of noise as they pop and melt and move, so they're called growlers. So that's a view of McMillan Pier, and I love the way that thanks Chris, that the water, the reflective part of the water, and how deep and dark it is that time of year. So this lower piece, I'm just going to bring the camera down, and I'm so sorry for the handheld quality, but I always am struggling with the reverse imagery. So this is also from McMillan Pier, but looking across to the old Cabral Pier, and this was obviously before all of the slips were built around it, after it was sold a year or two later from the time I took the photograph that this was painted from. But this is the structure at the end of that has the installation of the photography of the matriarchs of Provincetown, and it's an installation, a photography installation that's called They Also Face the Sea. So this one too, lots of the growlers, the icebergs floating up. So, and you can see that layered gray sky. So there we go. And we'll just move on down to the next one, unless there's any questions. All right, so this big piece, this is 30 by 30. Oh, those last two, by the way, were 12 by 12s each. So this is 30 by 30, and it's called Snow Over East Harbor. And it is that that lake that is kind of as you head out of town, that a lot of people call Pilgrim Lake. I think it is actually called Pilgrim Lake, but it used to be called East Harbor because before the train came through, it was actually connected to the harbor here in Provincetown. So in this particular rendition, it's frozen over, or there's, you know, it's brackish, so there's a lot of snow accumulating and dark snow clouds in the distance, and then this lovely kind of flurry happening. So this one is 30 by 30, and it's called Snow Over East Harbor. So I'm gonna back up again. So the reason that camera goes to the ceiling and then down is because I'm clicking it in to the tripod. Probably very weird for everyone, but see if there's any questions. Don't see anything specific. All right, I'm gonna keep rolling along. So I have two more of these 12 by 12s that are a little more representational. And the top one is called From the Hill, and the lower one is called Bull Ring Wharf. And I'll bring you in closer for those as well. But this top one, oh hi Janice. So this piece is called From the Hill, and it's really from kind of up near the monument, looking down over the harbor at all the rooftops after a dusting of snow. And I love how this little piece turned out. This is 12 by 12, and I feel like it really captures that light and before, you know, all the snow melts off of the roofs. So that one is From the Hill. And then this one below it is, I don't know why I can't do this, here we go. Bull Ring Wharf. And if you're familiar with Provincetown, this piece is painted from a photo that I took at Bull Ring Wharf, which is in the East End, kind of at Pearl Street, looking into the harbor, and there's an old captain's wheel that's attached to kind of a fence post there. And this was beautiful, fresh snow, and I just loved how I could peek through the wheel into the harbor. So that one is called Bull Ring Wharf. Oh, hi, Jan. Thank you, Janice. Oh, Rick, thank you. Yeah, love that piece. Yeah, the rooftops in Provincetown, Janice, I'm just mesmerized with the density, and I've done a lot of different work exploring what I call the gables and cables, because it's all rooftops and wires everywhere. So now we have some others that are a bit more abstracted and stylized, but still inspired by the cold winter here and the gray. So these last three pieces are 16, well, these two are 16 by 16, and then this farther one is 18 by 18. like the woodland one that we started with at the beginning. So these pieces are, the top one is called, let me take you in for that one. That one is called, I can't remember, here we go, Flash Freeze. So it's just that gorgeousness of the idea of sky and water, the cold and the light. So Flash Freeze. And then below it here is Cold Snap, which is very similar in expression, but you can see it's very different as well, especially when you see them together. So those two, I love doing those. They're really inspired a bit by not just the light and the color here, but they were inspired by some pieces that I did earlier in the year that expressed kind of the warm summer of Provincetown. One was called Heat Wave and one was called Cape Current. And I just loved that kind of gesturing that I was doing on the canvas. So now we'll just go forward here so you can see this last one closer. This is the 10th piece already. So we're getting through this pretty quick. Let me just adjust this a little bit. And so this piece is called Winter Days, and it's the Days cottages from the Bayside in the winter, with the light setting back behind Provincetown and hitting the faces of all these cottages. Oh, thanks, Natalie. It's good to see you on here. And so this one is 18 by 18. It's a little larger than the last two. And again, it's called Winter Days. And I'm just gonna go in a little closer so you can see some of the color and texture in this one. And yeah. And again, it has that lovely tension of the paint against the tooth of the fabric. I love doing that. Oh, thanks, Janice. All right. So I am done showing you all the new pieces. So let me just step this camera back a little and we can talk briefly. And then I can see if there's any questions. So now you can kind of see the whole line up there, some of it anyway. So yeah, are there any questions? Let me look through here really quick to see if I missed any. Yep. Oh, there's Natalie. I saw Natalie checking in. You're not late. You can always rewatch. You can watch the beginning at the end. I'll save it to my Facebook like I always do. So let me talk to you a little bit more. I just want to say that next I will be decking the halls. I do a lot of garland on the outside of the front of the studio that's lit, and then I do a Christmas tree, and I have a lot of fun. It gets really festive in here, so I'm excited about that, and the backdrop to all of that will be these lovely winter scenes, so that's fun. And I did some items for holiday this year. Some of them aren't here yet, you know, supply chain issues, but I did this new graphic, which this is a set of blank cards that you can get on my website. But this is the Provincetown Monument that is from my comic book, There I Am, which I dressed up with the lights like we do at the holiday here, and then put it against this lovely rainbow, which is the same rainbow as my Rainbow Collection comic books. So I have this motif this year. I have cards. I actually did mugs this year, so there's a few of these holiday mugs that you can get, and I love how that turned out. And there will be a few other things. I think there's a little mini puzzle. You can also buy single cards if you are here in studio, but online it's just the sets. And then I also did this new card this year, and it's based on a painting from last year's A Tale of, or Winter's Tale. and it shows the monument. It's hard to, this is reflective. I didn't realize that it was reflective and you can't really see it. But anyway, it is a smaller sized card, just like the ones I did last year, which everyone liked a lot better than the bigger ones I was doing. So it comes with red envelopes, it's pretty festive. So that one is also available as a motif for the holidays. And I also did an ornament of that same image. I'm also gonna have Scott Haig candles again this year, and some other things that I can't remember. But anyway, it's always a lot of fun, and it's great for Thanksgiving weekend and Holly Folly. So come to Provincetown, it's a blast for the holidays. And oh, thanks, Jeff. Good to see you. Oh, yeah, Rick, those were coffee mugs. I didn't realize there's all this questioning happening. So let me just see if there's anything I can answer before I go. Yes, Joseph, there was the ornament. And thanks, Chris. So the location of my gallery, Janice, is in Provincetown. It's in Whalers Wharf, which is in the center of town. It's where the movie theater is. And just as you go into Whalers Wharf, I'm right there on the left, right across from the Nut House. And yes, the location is on my website, and you should be able to find it through the link actually in the description here, because on the online store it gives you the location as well. And thank you, Jeff, for your kind words. Yes, you can feel the cold, and it's coming. So anyway, just before I sign off, I just want to, unless there's any other questions, I just want to thank everyone for all of your support. Again, 17 live streams since the beginning of the pandemic, which is just crazy. And I just am so grateful for all of you to continue to tune in and support me. So I've had an amazing year, and everyone, you have a great holiday. So yes, Rick, you can buy it all on the website. So the link is in the description. So I think there's no more questions. So happy holidays, everyone, and I'm signing off.